One of the great new features of the many that have been introduced on the new Insta360 Go 2 compared with the original Go is the addition of a new color profile, Vivid. In this video, I'm going to compare this new profile to the standard video profile and also the Color Plus post-processing feature too. Oh, and I'll talk a little bit about the new log profile too. What's that about? I'll explain the differences between them and share the story behind this new Vivid profile too. You won't want to miss this. So let's go. Let's start with the log profile. What's that and why might you want to use it? Now, looking at the video here, and you can see that the log profile looks kind of washed out with muted colors and a flatter light profile compared with the Go 2 standard video. The log profile captures data which preserves more of your image's dynamic range and tonality by using very smart mathematics, redistributing all the data you're capturing over what's known as a logarithmic scale, hence the name log profile. For reasons I'm not going to get into here, people use it so they have more room to get into the lighter and darker areas of any of your video capture without blowing out the highlights completely so you can't see anything. This happens in skies a lot, or crushing the blacks so you can't see anything in the shadows. You can see a little of that here in the comparison, but you can also see how you just can't leave this flat, lifeless image as it is. It needs work. I'll do another video about that another time, but if you're not into post-processing, which I think is most Go-To users, you don't need to worry about using it so much. So now you know that, let's move into the color choices you will use. In the shot comparisons coming up, I'm going to show you what you can get when you select either the standard profile or the Vivid profile before you start shooting, and compare these side by side so you can see the difference. I'll also add in a third comparison, which is what Color Plus looks like, which you can add as an export option on your standard video capture if you've chosen that option. Alright, let's roll the tape and see what it looks like. Here's 4 segments of video over about 1 minute for you to check it out for yourself. Before I get into a little analysis, I'm curious, what did you see in that little sequence? Which one do you prefer? Was it the same for all, or did it depend on the scene? Be sure to drop me a comment below. I'm interested in what you thought, and I'm sure others will be too. Okay, let's start with the Color Plus on the standard profile as an export choice. Although I thought it was great at the time it was released on the original Insta360 Go when it came out as a software development, I stopped using it so much. In effect, what it seems to do was 3 things, to my eye anyway. First, it increased the saturation of colors. Second, it also seemed to increase contrast. And third, it seemed to sharpen the video output too. And it was all a bit much. Consider it like a filter that was put on the video post-processing, but there's no way of adjusting it. It was just on or off. And to my eye, it also seemed to degrade the quality of the original video a bit too much. So I decided I preferred a bit more control and stopped using it and made minor adjustments in my videos myself rather than the all or nothing color plus option. But now with the new Vivid profile, Insta360 seems to have taken a completely different approach. Here's what I can share with you about what's going on with this new profile. In my conversation with Insta360, we talked about how the new Vivid color profile was designed specifically in line with the sensor used on the Go 2. And the reason why the new profile looks so GoPro-y? Well, it's because they had ex-GoPro people working on bringing that look to the Insta360 Go 2. And as I say, specifically for the sensor that they use inside this camera. And you can select it for both basic stabilization and flow state stabilizations modes too. Now, the reason why this is a good thing is that with this way of making colors more vibrant, it's baked into the data capture process. This means that if you want to adjust this in post-production, you're going to be able to do that and be less likely to get really bad degradation of the quality of your video. When the color science is built and integrated from the ground up rather than filtered and tweaked at the end, it gives you a much better quality video clip, which you can do so much more with. I think it looks better than Color Plus, way better. I can still see times and situations where I might want to use the less punchy standard color profile, but for a lot of the time, especially social media, I can see why the more punchy, vivid profile will most likely be my default setting. Share, like, subscribe, and applaud. Do any or all of them. I'll love you just the same. I'm Saab Johel. Thanks for watching. Come back again soon for me, the go-to guy. Laters in it.